Hello. So, we're gonna, now these are dried, we're gonna get them the right shape. I'm gonna use a variety of tools. First of all, I've got this rasp, just because there's a fair bit of wood there that probably needs taking off. And then I've got my electric sander here with variety of grades from P40 down to 320, just to make sure we finish it off nice. Reason I'm going to use this rasp is that I can curve this off quite nicely, but also it does not make half as much mess as sanding does. It'll also give this a good old test. Make sure, you know, it really is fixed well. So the only thing with the rasp is you do have to be careful of what you do sort of take off. So we can see that's a bit, yeah, we need to, we're almost there, you know. So just need to get the shape roughly there. And then get it nice and flat. There we go, we're about there. I think that's good. And then we'll finish that off. Now I don't have to use such aggressive sandpaper. I'll put the 120 on. And hopefully that will do the trick. Great. So let's now do this side again to match up. There you go, so there we go, there's the two pieces done, and they match quite nicely with those there, look. So there's the original ones that have been on already, and here's mine. And I mean, this one's a little bit smaller down here, but the important thing is these bits are level and they're nice and strong. So, we've kind of done all the repairs we need to do. I'm now just waiting for my order to come from Drascombe UK, which I don't know why things take so long from that place, but they do. It is booked in. I was hoping it would get here yesterday, now today, but it doesn't look like today. So as soon as we get those things in, I will then cut my shrouds off that little masthead piece of zinc. The reason I don't want to do it before I get my shrouds is just in case I don't get the right shrouds, because there was a mix-up with the lengths on the invoice, so I hope that I get the right length. And I think, well, until I actually get the right shrouds, I want to chop the other ones off. But until I chop the other shrouds off, the original shrouds, I can't. It's going to be a real mess trying to get the mass thing put on here. Now, the reason I want to get that done and the gaff drawers done now was when I epoxy it. I don't want to end up epoxying things and then nothing fits because it's a bit thick and I'm going to have to sand again. So I'm going to epoxy. I'm going to stick it on as I epoxy it. Yeah, it might stick on, but nothing a bit of a hammer can't solve if I ever need to take it off again. So we're just waiting for that to come. Frustratingly, I don't really want to epoxy one thing at a time. I want to do it all together, all in one go. Otherwise, you end up using loads of brushes, and it takes forever anyway. But then, yeah, I'm going to get all these epoxied. Then we do a light sanding, and then we're just going to get as many layers of varnish as we can get on. You know, I think if we get the temperature right, I can actually get on 2 layers a day. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get that. If we can keep them nice and thin. I'm aiming to get 2 epoxy layers, I think, because that's what I did on the bumpkin, and try and get 4 layers of varnish if we can. I think that should be done. Yeah, and then we can turn our attention away from the masts and the wood and to other things. Still got a few things to do. So the other thing I need to get are some, I think we're going to need extra long bolts for this. This is the bilge pump, and these bolts go through this casing like so, and then the bilge pump fixes to the bottom. However, I think we're going to be struggling with the length of these because the bolts actually aren't surface mount. They have to go deeper into the bilge pump. So I'm just going to measure those. I'm hoping the thread size is pretty standard. Yeah, so they're 6mm, and they are, let's come back here, 6mm and 30mm long. So I need to make a note of those. And I think just another 10mm will probably do the job on that, because that's how much I'm probably thickening. Well, I'm not thickening it by that much actually, so that would probably do the job on those. And I might even get posi drive ones, because I hate these single blade screws. So, and now I've also got my cleats. So these are all the cleats that and bits and paraphernalia I took off the gunwale, sorry. And you know, these all came off. Now some of these aren't going back on, but what I do need to make sure is I have adequate screws that will go through these and fix them into the boat. Now let's have a look, because I did, you know, admittedly that's 4.7, so I think these are going to need 4.2 wide, and you can see these are quite thick. These are, there you go. Probably would be better to okay, no, yeah, that horn cleat's a little bit different, but I can't find these anywhere now. So let's have a little look. Currently I've just been using these little zinc rust-proof screws, and you know what, they do work pretty well on the lake. They've lasted years in my mirror dinghy, but on the sea I think we need to get the right ones. Now that is a 3mm, I'm pretty sure, because I use those. Oh no, nearly 3.8mm, is it? Okay, so I think these need to be 4.2mm, but I think that's the right length. So I'm gonna have a quick look at those. Yeah, I think that's the right length. So we need to get some of those in stainless steel. Let's have a little look. And they're 44, 43. And these also need to be countersunk. I've got a lot of these style, but they're not countersunk. So you just get that little raised edge, which is never good. You know, having them countersunk gets them right out the way. So these are 4.2 wide. So that's going to be the spec for those, so we know we need some of those. Likewise, I think these were 4.2 as well. Yeah, 4.2, but we don't need those as big. You know, they're 5mm. They're 5mm higher up, so perhaps we need something 5mm lower, because that's too much to put in the gunwale. So I think those can be somewhere in the region of 38, I think, to 40mm, which I think, and they need to be countersunk as well. So there you go. We need to buy a few screws. So I'm going to get this little order in, and hopefully we shall get all this in quite soon, and we can start to think about, you know, getting all this back on the boat.